means of egress, opening protection, and signage.
Note that the label has been painted. Labels should not be painted on doors. Field modifications of listed products shall be through the manufacturer, and a written graphic or graphic description of the modification should be presented to the laboratory. Field modifications shall be permitted without a field visit from a laboratory upon the written authorization of the lab. NFPA 80, Section 5141, field labeling shall be performed only by individuals or companies that have been certified or listed, or by individuals or companies that are representatives of the labeling service that maintains periodic inspections or production of labeled equipment or materials, and by those labeling the manufacturer indicates compliance with appropriate standards or performance in a specified manner. NFPA 80, Section 5.541 also states that repairs shall be made, and defects that could interfere with proper operation must be corrected without delay. Continuing along with field modifications, remember, when a manufacturer is no longer available, laboratories shall be permitted to provide an engineering evaluation supporting the field modification. When a fire door or window is no longer functioning and is removed, the opening must be filled with materials that match and maintain the required rating of the wall assembly. Door hardware. Let's reiterate that panic hardware is required when serving occupant loads of 50 or more. This also is applicable to gates along the egress path. Verify the interruption of power to any electromagnetic locks immediately unlocks the door. CBC Section 1010.1.4.2 states that where means of egress doors are operated or assisted by power, the design shall be that, in the event of power failure, the door is capable of being opened manually to permit means of egress, travel, or closed where the necessary to safeguard means of egress. The force required to open the doors manually should not exceed those specified in 1010.1.3, except that the force to set the door in motion shall not exceed 50 pounds. Section 1010.1.3, as referenced from the previous section, states that the force for pushing or pulling interior swinging egress doors, other than fire doors, shall not exceed 5 pounds and 15 pounds for fire doors. (2019) CBC Section 1010.1.4.4 permits the installation of door hardware that may be locked from the inside on egress doors of classrooms, offices, and similar rooms of Group E and Group B educational occupancies. This addresses the threat issued towards students and staff by intruders. This also gives school staff the ability to engage the locking function from the inside without having to open the door. It also facilitates the egress function, which must be operable at all times. Section 1010.1.4.4 is a new section in the Model Code IBC. For companion requirements, Assembly Bill 3205 added Section 17583 to the Education Code and requires compliance with similar criteria on state-funded interior modernization projects. This requirement became effective January 1st, 2019. CBC Section 1010.1.11 requires the installation of door hardware, which may be locked from the inside on certain doors. Compliance only pertains to state-funded construction projects of new buildings. Non-state-funded projects may apply the provisions voluntarily by the school district and the A&E of record. Remember, the importance here is that this addresses the threat towards students and staff, allows the staff to engage the locking function, and maintains the egress function operable at all times. This fire and life safety informational publication was created in conjunction with the State Fire Marshal's Office years ago when AB 211 went into play. It may be referenced from the DSA website or the State Fire Marshal's Office website.
Exit signs must be either internally or externally illuminated. The following provisions apply when installing externally illuminated exit signs. The sign face will indicate a verified maximum viewing distance. These types of signs must be installed near an interior light source to maintain the recharge on the surface of the sign. These signs must be illuminated at all times. All exterior signage must be listed by a recognized national testing laboratory. For glow-in-the-dark type signs, the glow letters are fully legible for 90 minutes after the failure of normal lighting. These signs have a visibility rating of 50 feet to 75 feet. Any greater distances must be verified with the manufacturer's cut sheets. 2019 CBC Section 1013.5 and 1013.6.2. If you're on the job site and have access to a light meter, these signs are required to have at least 5-foot candles on the face of the sign.
What's wrong with this picture? Well, the exit sign is not legible. A two-sided exit sign is required as travel in two directions occurs along this corridor. How about here? The exit sign has been covered up, and the exit door and hardware appear to have been modified. And here, the fire extinguisher inside room sign must be mounted on the latch side of the door, not at the top of the door. Also note that this picture has been reversed. California Code of Regulations, Title 19, Section 567I, obscured locations of fire extinguishers to be identified with signs. Occupant load signage, again, required in rooms having occupant loads of 50 or more. Here, the maximum occupant load sign is shown in the room. Other than classrooms or lecture halls, such signs are also required in multipurpose rooms, gyms, stage areas, etc. Per Title 19, Section 3.30, any area with 50 or more occupants, regardless of actual occupancy, shall have a maximum occupant load sign posted. Because it has an occupant load of 50, 2 exits are required. There should be exit signs over the 2 doors providing egress from this room. Note the alcove in this picture. Would the exit sign above this door be visible? Maybe an additional sign is required. Where rooms have movable partitions, it is also possible due to room configurations that multiple occupant load signs may be provided.